Welcome to season 6 of the Wilderness Living Challenge. Like every other season before this, we're going to weigh ourselves at the beginning and they're going to weigh ourselves at the end. If we lose any weight whatsoever, we lose the challenge. Now, there's a bit of a twist on this challenge. It's not like every other survival competition out there. Reason being, we're actually trying to legitimately live long term off of wild foods. So this isn't just like collect whatever you want, use primitive tools. This is about modern man returning to nature to figure out whether we can still live on the things that are around us. Now, every season is a build on other seasons. And of course, this one's no different. So we're going to be doing modern homesteading edition. So we're going to be living out of the cabin in the woods, and we're going to be collecting foods that's all around here. And trust me, there's a lot of things that are in season right now. It's the fall, and there's tons of things, tons of animals, tons of wild edibles around the cabin that we're going to be pursuing. So without holding you guys up any further, let's jump right into the action. Well, good morning, guys. It's day 1 of the Wilderness Living Challenge. I got Jeremy inside. He's getting changed. I slept out on the deck because Jeremy snores a lot, and also because I don't like it to be too hot at night, so I sleep actually better outside. Listen to all the nature sounds. I heard, I'm pretty sure I heard a few deer running around. Last night we set raccoon traps, 5 raccoon traps, so we're hoping we're eating some food this morning. Maybe we'll double down and actually get a deer. So I've got the bow over here. It's all ready to go. I'll take you inside and show you what's going on. You all set there, Jer?
I'm all set.
I'm going to give you a light. You want a light?
Sure.
How's that? Is that better?
Wow.
So
Living a life of luxury here.
So Jeremy got the loft all to himself last night. We have all our cooking stuff all ready to go. Jerry's got a slow cooker. He ate some wild food. He's only eating wild food all year. So this might be his best shot of netting out this time. We have a few staple items. I'm going to add this year, I'm going to add some maple syrup from the property to do some wild rice. Jeremy's been eating wild rice, and we have some bear fat, which I left outside. And then of course we'll be using whatever spices I want, and obviously I prefer my own brand. We have the Apex generator going, giving us power. Give you a look upstairs here. So this is what Jeremy's place looks like. He's got crossbow air rifle, and we're gonna try for some squirrels. No, we're gonna try for deer, but if not, we're gonna get some squirrels. So we got some black walnuts we'll put out for squirrel enticers, and if the squirrels happen to come by, we'll get those. But we're aiming for a deer this morning, so I'll meet you over in the stand. It's dark now, so there's not gonna be much to see until the light comes up.
We're awake. Ready to go?
Ready to go.
All right.
Well, no deer for us. We did see a turkey out in the field here, and we called it over to about 35 yards, but it didn't want to come in. They're pretty sketchy when you try to hunt them out of a tree stand. Bunch of red squirrels came in, and then Jared took 2 shots at black squirrels with his air rifle. They both fell, and then he saw them crawl away. So he's just out there looking now to see if he can't spot where they took off to. But that's going to be it for us. On the way in, we saw 2 of our live traps were empty. We've got 5 traps out, so we've got 3 traps left. I thought it was like a guarantee that we'd have them all filled up because there's so many raccoons here. No squirrel, no luck. Looked around a little bit here. Jared didn't find any. Got a pretty big old puffball, but it's no good. It smells a little rank. A little rank. Ew. Smells mushroomy, but not edible mushroomy. And the one squirrel kind of crawled down the tree a little bit and hung around, and Jared said the other one dropped down and it started taking off, and we were paying attention to the turkey. We didn't really see where it went. Anyway, we may keep this spot full of walnuts, and they'll come in for those. We can hunt crow. We can take off now and grab some apples. There's lots of wild apples around, and we can eat the walnuts too, but we have to dry them first. So I'll show you that later, probably, at least during the series at some point, because we are going to be out here for 6 days, 5-6 days total. Let's go check out the raccoon traps, and hopefully we got some food to eat.
They got away on us.
We're eating what?
Leftover soup.
Raccoon, maybe.
Well, I hope so, yeah. Yeah, raccoon, or maybe we'll get something on the way back, you never know. Squirrel, rabbit,
Yeah.
crows, blue jay.
Red squirrel would have been easy pickings this morning.
Yeah, they just were like shuttling back and forth all morning, right?
Yeah.
A bunch of them around. Not so much the black squirrels or the gray squirrels.
So here's one of our baited traps. We throw, what do we throw in there? Peanut butter and some bread and all that stuff. We had tons of raccoon activity through here on the trail camera, so I thought for sure. Maybe they're just too full because they're eating corn right now. Lots of it. Just keep trying. We'll probably move this closer to the creek system, and we'll see. Well, we'll see what's productive. We'll find one that's full, keep it there, and put traps around it. It's been groups of 5 and 6 coming through all the time. Deer, turkeys, squirrel, turkeys, turkey. I don't know what that is. Oh, turkey. These are all in the morning. Turkey, squirrel. Oh, what was that? Coyote. That was this morning. Huh, that was this morning because it just came before us. Those are those Browning trail cameras. They sent me like 6 of them to test out, and they do a really good job. This is ASAC camo. If you guys want some ASAC camo, there's a discount code in the description, so use that. It's really good stuff. Works really well. There's apple. This isn't the best apple tree in the world. It's already lost most of its apples, but it'll be the first meal of the Wilderness Living Challenge Season 6. First meal.
Oh, love apples.
Can't run away on us.
Nope.
I'll have to make some applesauce later. We'll find a better tree than this. There's lots of trees around.
You followed me?
Yeah.
Filling my pockets. They're big pockets.
I thought this one was a guaranteed spot. It's right in the swamp here. So it's right just on the edge. And there's a pretty good raccoon trail coming through here. I don't know. Maybe they're just not compelled to go in the traps right now because they got so much feed in the fields. I don't know. We gotta put some salmon in there. That's probably the kicker. get something really stinky, and they're gonna go after it. Every season of the Wilderness Living Challenge starts off like this. Wow, except for the one we blew out of the water with Zach. But everybody found that one was boring. A lot of people said it was just like camping, which it was, because everything went well. 2 bears, 2 beavers, bunch of apples. So we're 0 for 3 so far on the traps. We got 2 more left. One is the big trap, but I didn't hear it go off last night, and I thought I would have, considering I was outside. And I heard some deer walking around, I'm pretty sure. I'm bringing the 22 this time. That'll be good luck.
Do you want to bring the crow call too?
The crow call?
We're going to be out in the open a bit.
No, it'll just be here.
Oh yeah, they're just close.
Yeah. If we're gonna do crows, you have to be 100% full camo.
Yeah.
They have better eyesight than, well, just about as good as a turkey, but smarter. Turkeys are dumb, but wary. Brutal. So this is the advanced trap. You can catch anything in this thing. It's got two doors, one at the front, one at the back. So if you want to try to catch a big animal, it can go all the way through because it can see the exit. Here we got a peanut butter, marshmallows, and a bunch of bread. There's a mechanism over here which trips it once you hit those wires. Of course, we got the trail camera on it too, so if anything happens, we'll see it. But this is through the marshy area here, and I was actually hoping we'd get a beaver as well, but I've been monitoring that, and haven't had any beaver activity since the dam was built, because I've broken it up and had a trail camera here for a little while, and but nothing's come through. So here we are. 0 for 4 on raccoon. We got 1 more trap left.
0 for 5.
0 for 5.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah, you thought there was a good chance we might be 5 for 5, but I guess they're just too full of corn, maybe, eh?
Could be.
Guess we're eating apples and walnuts.
We did some roadside foraging on the way here and got a pile of black walnuts. We can eat these, but they have to be dried. So we have to dry that out completely, and then we can crack it. It's actually probably fairly dry now. We'll put some on the stove once it gets going. We'll crack them open. I'll show you what they're all about. But the squirrels love these, full of proteins and fats. So I'm gonna take a live trap, and we could just use the live trap to trap it, but trap a squirrel. But my hunch is that we're gonna end up catching a bunch of red squirrels, and they're not legal for us to catch and keep. So what I'm gonna do is a dirty trick. You smiling yet, Jeremy? You know what I'm up to yet? So I'm gonna fill the trap up with walnuts that the squirrel can't get.
Okay.
Because we don't want the squirrel to actually take them all and then stop coming in. So we want them to have to work at getting them. And these smell very, very, very strong. I don't know if you guys have ever smelt them, but they're super strong. So we're gonna deploy the trap, and now we have a trap that's gonna draw squirrels in until they figure out that they can't actually get them. And maybe we'll keep a couple extra on the outside, and we're gonna put it down by the cabin, so every time we walk by we can have a peek to see if there's anything down there grabbing them. So this should work, hopefully.
Yeah, they smell like lemons.
They smell lemony. Yeah, very, very strong lemon.
They smell really good.
But they draw in squirrels for miles and miles and miles just because it's such a treat for them.
Yeah.
So we can only get the fox squirrels, so that's the black squirrels and the gray squirrels. So I'm gonna throw this up down about 30-40 yards from the cabin here, and we should draw some in. We got to watch out for these ones because they're gonna come up on the deck and grab these as well.
Yeah.
But they're a little bit more protected because they don't want to be around us, but they're gonna be free to grab them in the woods here. So we're not gonna give up just yet with the raccoons. We've got ourselves a little game collar. It's a Fox Pro. So if we play some raccoons fighting, it might draw them out of the cover. So we're gonna go back to the stand, and it's gonna be round number 2. We're gonna throw everything at this. We can do some crows, but I don't really have a great spot for crow, and then I got to bring all the crow decoys out, and we got to be 100% full camo. So maybe if this doesn't work, we'll try that, or we're gonna be eating apples. Doesn't sound like a very exciting day, does it? All right, let's go back to the stand. Fire this up. video on him. There's a squirrel down. One squirrel down. We're not here for squirrels. We're here for a raccoon. Turn that collar on now and see what happens. He's a male. He's got big nuts. He's trying to steal my other nuts. That's gonna have to feed us for lunch till we get something else tonight, or we'll have to stay out here all day looking for squirrels. Jeremy said that this whole challenge was going to be a comparison between the gear. So Jeremy's got a taped up old 22. How old is that?
Over 60 years old.
60 years old. It's got wood. Got a little bit of electrical tape there holding it together.
Cooey bolt action.
I've got the modern 22 Ruger synthetic with a scope. So far I'm 1 for 1 though. But Jeremy's got the new air rifle. It's 2 for 2, but 0 for 2 on the kill.
Yeah.
So maybe if we would have got on that squirrel, the first squirrel early, we probably would have recovered it. But we're obviously hoping to get something bigger.
Yeah, it got away on us.
Got away. There's lots of places for them to hide. The other one is probably still up in the tree. I have a video where it got stuck up in the tree, right in the crotch. I had to cut a stick to get it out.
Oh yeah.
It was high up, like 30 feet.
Yeah.
20, 30 feet. So I got it out. You guys got to weigh your firepower, because you don't want to over fire something. You want to use, like, a shotgun can just wreck it.
Yeah.
So you may not want to use a shotgun unless you're, run and gun. If you're sitting snipe, 22 is pretty good to get the headshots on them. So that's a pot that Jeremy started yesterday. It's fats and venison, I think, and a bunch of other things. So I'll keep adding to the pot. He's actually working on a turkey. Not that we shot, though. It is a turkey that he found on the road. I think Jeremy's pretty famous for eating roadkill.
Yeah.
Pretty famous for eating roadkill.
It's like my only claim to fame.
So you found that on the highway?
Yep. Yeah, I had a detour because the main highway coming here had so many accidents that my GPS kind of detoured me to a better route. And I spotted this guy. I did a U-turn, went over, and he looked like he was in not terrible shape. So I just hustled him into the back of my car, and then we hung him up in the dark last night. So this is my first chance to really have a good look at it. So a lot of the front got skidded off of him. There's a bit of gravel in there. But, and I got the guts out. But I think it'll wash up okay. And the legs are good. And there's all this nice neck skin, so make the most of it. Might be a really ugly Christmas turkey.
We have a powerhouse doghouse, runs off solar. And then we have the Energy Apex battery unit, so that takes power off the solar. We also have a gas generator. I brought this out, tarp shelter, because we have a chest freezer out here, because we were planning on getting like 10 raccoons, and so far we're skunked. We only have a skunk, that's how bad it is. Anyway, I brought you up here because I wanted to show you the system that we have set up. So we have the gas generator, which is going to run for backup for us, Briggs and Stratton. So if all else fails, we could just run the freezer off this. But we have 6 batteries over here, car batteries. I showed this in a previous video if you guys want to figure out how to do that. So we've got the Apex running 3 batteries. You can't do more than 3 on this as a setup, so it ends up being like 500 or 5,000 watts. Yeah, so the plan is to get a bunch of meat in that freezer and have surplus. I was really counting on getting more raccoon. Did I mention that already? So now the Apex is charging, and we still have power down at the cabin because I ran the wire rather than through the Apex energy battery pack back to the cabin. So it's powering everything, and we power the freezer too. We just don't have anything to put in it yet, except for the turkey. Since all we have is 1 squirrel, we're going to take full advantage of our staples. This is some wild rice. It's a traditional food grown in the wild. So we're going to do 1 cup of rice, and we're going to put 2 cups of water, and then we're going to add probably a bunch of bear fat in there too. And then when it's all done, we'll add some of our maple syrup. So that'll be obviously our staples. We got to get our game on. So this is bear fat. It's just rendered down fat. Looks like any other kind of lard. Just separate that from the cracklings. Obviously going to put a good amount in there, and then mix it all in. And we're going to cook this for about 40 minutes. We'll put it on the stove as long as the stove is going. And we also have the gas powered propane stove, which will do if this can't maintain a simmer. So we're going to cover that until it is completely soft and be ready to eat. So it'll take about an hour or 45 minutes on a low simmer until it's nice and soft. And hopefully the squirrel's ready at the same time, and we can have some food before we go out and forage again. Since we were so busy, forgot to do the weigh-in, so we're going to do it now before we eat. I don't know if that's backwards or forwards, but that's how we're doing it. And it doesn't really matter. We always gain weight, right, Jeremy? Might be your best chance of gaining weight, though, considering you've been eating this diet.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, at least maintaining.
Lost 35 pounds this year, and I've been stable for like 4 months. So I'll be interested to see if I go up or down or just kind of stay about the same.
Yeah. Oh, anyway. All right. So jump on the scale.
All right. There we go.
Just step on it. Jeremy's going to go first. Without blocking it, what are you,
164.
That sound right?
Yep, with all these clothes on.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I got my long johns, my pants, 3 shirts,
All right.
my hat.
All right, write that down. I got a board to write it down. And I forgot to tell you, if you guys aren't familiar with the Wilderness Living Challenge, basically what we're doing is we're going to weigh ourselves at the start and then weigh ourselves at the end. If we lose any weight, we lose the challenge. So if we gain weight, we win. That's the idea. Just eating all wild food stuff we can collect. And we've been adding more and more staples every year. Just trying to make a go of it. I should probably grab my knife because I'm probably going to have it in at the end.
Okay.
All right. So we are 142.8.
All right.
So where'd you write yours out?
Yeah, over there.
142.8 TWB. There we go.
All right.
Smells very gamey. What was in there before?
Everything. So there's venison broth, duck, wild cranberries, walnuts, wild rice, bear fat.
Smells like animal.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's just the squirrel.
No.
Maybe it's the bear fat.
Maybe.
I smell animally.
Should be good.
We'll see.
Guaranteed good. Right.
I don't know what to do.
I know what to do. Well, let's.
I'll just
I'll show you what I'm gonna do.
ladle it.
I'm gonna eat it.
How about you ladle what you want, and then I'll actually eat out of that.
Okay.
Maybe we're not eating maple syrup.
Whew, good God. We have a meal with it, maple syrup. A few apples.
Yeah, so we're gonna be adding maple syrup, of course. A lot of it.
Yeah.
We're gonna eat one of these every day.
Is that the plan?
Yeah. So
All right.
a lot of it's gonna go in there.
Okay.
Jeremy can't eat any spices, any foreign spices. No, not even coffee. Salt and pepper though. What's this?
Coffee
Oh, that's
free.
a bullet.
Yeah, bullets.
I thought you had a tin of
Spice
salt.
it with a little bit of lead.
So I'm gonna put
Yeah,
my.
these are my pellets for my air gun. I just keep them in an old pill case. It's kind of handy that way.
I'm putting my Wadobo spice on there. You guys can find it if you want to find it. You'll have no problem. You get some apples. These are like the worst apples I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, there's way better apples. The ones that fall on the ground you don't really typically would eat. They kind of fall
excited
apart.
about the better apples.
Oh, there's a tree down the road. It's loaded. It's wild rice, like from
It's wild rice,
from
yeah.
Alberta,
It's
right?
wild harvested rice from Alberta and Saskatchewan, and I bought it through a bulk store back home. 50 pounds. 50 pounds in a bag.
How much have you eaten of it?
A whole bag.
You
And then we bought a second bag.
Yeah, it's 100
On
pounds.
the second bag, and that should get us through till the end of the year. So between Delphi and I,
Mhm.
50 pounds each. Yeah.
Do you think you could have done it without this as a staple?
I'm not sure. So, I mean, part of it was not having the time to gather enough starches. We might have been able to do it, but we, like my weight dropped pretty low. So we decided to buy in some wild food. Then subsequently I got my physiology measurements done, but I was still at 17% body fat. Like I was not underweight,
Mm-hmm.
but I just was way down from where I started, which was overweight.
Yeah. For reference, healthy, that would be probably a healthy optimum weight for male, like athletic weight. Season 1 I dropped to like 9%
Yeah,
body fat because I went in super low
yeah,
expecting to try to gain weight,
yeah.
and that hurt.
17 is still a bit above optimal.
Yeah, slightly. 15, like 14, 15
Yeah.
is probably ideal,
Yeah.
but that's still pretty low, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Like relative to modern society, if you look at the data from like the Hadza hunter-gatherers, they're sitting at around 11-14%. They're kind of at optimal body fat. The males,
Mhm.
and the females are a little bit higher than women.
Mhm.
So, comparatively, I wasn't too worried. But a lot of people who've watched Delphine and I losing weight on my channel, because we do our monthly live streams, we're going to do a collage of like our faces from when we started through. You can really see it.
Mm-hmm.
But people were concerned.
Yeah.
But the concrete measurements say we're doing all right. And then we stabilized.
So there's a piece of squirrel meat there. I'll give you the taste. Probably tastes like the broth and everything else now. It's not chewy.
No?
No. It's just hard to get off the bone, right? It's not chewy at all.
No.
The combination of the salts and the fats help break it down. And time. Because if you put it in and you try to cook it for 20 minutes, 20 minutes
Yeah.
later it's going to be the hardest meat you've ever tried to eat in your life. We should have 3 of these.
Yeah, we should.
Then we would have had a proper meal.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got everything.
Deer stand.
I checked the trail camera on the way out. I had everything. It had
Yeah.
coyote, deer, bunch of turkeys, squirrels. It didn't have a raccoon, but we had raccoon on the other trail camera.
Yeah.
So we've got everything here. And anyway, we're gonna keep eating.
Yep.
And then we're gonna go get some apples, I think. and maybe some walnuts. We'll see. Do a little bit of running. So we got an apple tree. It's got red apples. These are wild apples, by the way. We're not at an orchard, although it would seem to be. And Jeremy's just helping himself to some yellow apples. Got some drops here. Got some of the drops here. I wouldn't eat the drops if you had a choice. I mean, you can eat the drops. It just might end up with a parasite. There could be anything in the soil down here, and if there's animals running around, take a dump on here, like a raccoon, and give you a roundworm, and then you'll have a roundworm. You don't want a roundworm. Which apples are better? Do you like those yellow ones or the red ones?
I like them both. The red ones are sweeter, but these ones are crispier.
Yeah, I don't mind either. So these are, in truth, these are probably all European brought in apple species, right?
Yeah.
And they just feral, because when Europeans came here, they needed to feed their cattle something and themselves.
Yeah.
And now nobody gives a poop about these apple trees anymore. But you end up going to the orchard, you get those spray, non-organic anymore. These are perfectly organic. You just have to deal with a little bit more rot, but nothing wrong with them. The flavor's good, and if you like cider or pies, it's good. All good for that, and eating just by itself.
Yeah. I brought an apple picker. I just have to make a handle for it, but it'll let us reach all the ones up high. Because a lot of the time, the ones down low, the deer get at them right by standing up a bit.
I have a way to get the apples down.
Yeah.
Shake the tree.
Yeah. With your chainsaw?
Yeah. I didn't even know we had these other berries around, but this is a high bush cranberry just right next to the apple tree. And I tried one, and it's pretty sour in comparison to the apples. The apples are very sweet. Jared says he's gonna have to cook it down a little bit to, I guess, release the sugars and add a little bit of sugar to it, so some apple in with the cranberries would actually be a good mix. Jeremy's planning on filling up his vehicle to take home with him so that he can make some cider and all that good stuff. So we got quite a bit of work to do, but we got quite a bit of apples too. We have to make some applesauce. 15 gallons or so total if it's full, right? 15 gallons if it's full?
Yep.
So 7.5 gallons. It's getting all confusing. Anyway, there's a lot of apples, put it that way. All right, what do we do with the walnut?
Husk it.
And then what?
Eat it.
I wouldn't eat that.
I wouldn't either. I'll have all stained lips. Just take the nut out, throw the husks away, or what we're going to do is use them for squirrel bait. Take some of that off and then let them dry out. I don't know what people do to get like the rest of it off. I thought maybe
Wash.
pressure wash.
Yeah,
Scrub them.
just
Scrub
wash
them in
it.
a bucket of water.
Yeah. Bucket of water and then rinse it off, and then you'll have some of the ink and taste from the husk, but you know,
Yeah.
part of the walnutty taste flavor that you come to expect from eating wild foods. So after you husk, you end up with something like that. That's the actual nut, but it's not dry, so you can't crack it open because it's kind of spongy, which is exactly what the nut wants you to think and do, because it wants you to actually go store it someplace to dry it and then forget about it, and it turns into a walnut tree. But we're smarter than the walnut tree, so we're going to dry it properly where it can't get taken. We'll put it on the stove and let it dry, or near the stove, and dry it out. And hopefully by the end of this challenge we have a bite of the walnuts. So you'll have to watch all the way to the end to find out what they taste like. All right, so Jeremy's going to do a little bit more of that. I'm packing up because I'm going to another property, and we're splitting up. We're splitting up, or we're dividing up? What was the word we figured out?
Splitting up.
Splitting up. We're splitting up. So I'm going to go to another place. Hopefully we have some luck, well, better luck that way. Obviously we're going to have different experiences, which is why we're doing it. So hopefully Jeremy shoots a deer and I shoot a deer, and then we have lots of deer to eat, because we're certainly not eating lots of raccoon. And Jeremy's going to bait the traps on the way out. Hopefully that'll double our chances of getting a raccoon. We're just settled in here now. There's got a spot. It's overlooking a swamp over here. There's a cornfield over here. And then there's a big fence row here. It's all fallow. So it's basically a funnel coming this way for the deer. So this is the cover. Before they get to the cornfield, the corn's still up. There's tons of deer tracks here. It's all bedding over this way here. So what I'm hoping is going to happen is they're going to come from the bedding here out to the corn. Now they
be spending some time out in the corn. Give you guys a look on this side. It's open, but it's also very, very dense. Over here on this side, I don't really have any shooting lanes. A couple here, so I'm hoping the deer come from this side. This is my best chance over here. So I'm just gonna settle in here now, and we're gonna see what the world gives us. If it gives us a deer, we're gonna eat it. I'm getting hungry again. Those apples, they only go so far. We decided that if we don't get a deer, or even if we do get a deer, we're gonna make ourselves some apple cobbler. So we're gonna go apples, acorn flour, and maple syrup. That'll be smashing. So that's gonna be dinner. Dinner's gonna be breakfast, unless we can get ourselves some actual food. Alright, I'm gonna put you on the camera arm.
Alright, Jay, show off your trophies. What'd you get?
Yeah, I redeemed myself with the air gun. 3 shots, 3 squirrels. 1, 2, 3.
All blacks and a gray?
Yeah,
2 blacks and a gray?
2 blacks and a gray.
Oh, perfect. It's gonna go back in the forever stew.
Yep.
Right on, we'll add some mixed syrup to it and maybe some rice later
Yeah,
if it's ready for before bed.
yeah. We might want to put a little bit more water in it too. But that'll be a good addition.
Cool, and I'll add some, well, I'll start the cobbler anyway.
Yeah.
See where you're at.
Yeah.
Jeremy's gonna clean the squirrels. I'm gonna start on the cobbler, and hopefully within an hour or so we'll have something to eat.
They gonna fit?
Stuff them in there. Now we have too much squirrel.
Oops. I'll throw one in the freezer.
Look at that. 3 squirrels having a swim.
Yep. Oh, hot tub.
All our apples, so all I do is take the skin off and chunk them up. Put them in first with added some water so it wouldn't burn. My mouth is watering, which is a good sign. And then once that all was all cooked, added some acorns that Jeremy's been collecting throughout the season. So what did you say, 80 liters you got so far of acorns?
Yeah, and these are last year's ones that I had stockpiled.
Oh, last year's. So
Yeah.
you take them out of the shell and then you leach them, so that gets rid of the tannins, right?
Yep.
So that's available now. Just we don't have a lot of acorns around here. And then on top of that, of course, we're adding maple syrup. I'll probably add a little bit more. You think probably a little bit more, Jerry?
Yeah, we can do it to taste after we give it a try, or
Wow.
just
It always tastes better.
throw some in.
It always tastes better if you add more. So we're gonna try to do a whole jar of this every single day between the two of us. Because why not? Collected this from here from this property, so technically perfectly legit. And you can tell we've only gone through half of one, so we still have all these. And I think you brought some too, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, we're falling behind.
We are. You got to eat faster. And the squirrel looks good, but it's not. Oh, it's getting close. Probably in an hour from now, we might be able to eat that. But stove's working really good, and it's saving us a lot of energy. Cooking on this, we can adjust the temperature, and we can just let it simmer like that. Anyway, we're gonna dig in.
Oh yeah.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, we'll try some of this black mash. Doesn't look very good, but it's mostly kind of taking the color of the pot, but it's gonna taste really good. It's only day one.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe it's day one because of all the work we put in.
Yeah.
We haven't stopped since what? Before sunrise, and we're going till after sunset.
Tomorrow's probably going to be the same. Although with rain in the forecast, we might do some processing stuff instead of hunting. But we'll see what happens. Eh?
Well, the kicker is going to be whether we can get a raccoon.
Yeah.
So we're doubling down. We've got squirrel guts from four squirrels now.
Yeah.
And I cut up all the apples. We might be able to catch ourselves a cottontail. So
with apple peelings.
With apple peelings. And I know a spot two spots where they're hitting. Whether they're going to go into a trap for apples right now, I don't know. I mean, they would definitely. We've caught them in the winter with apples.
Yeah.
Was it apples we used?
Yep. Yeah, you had just a few that you scavenged up somewhere.
Yeah. The first night at the. If you guys want to go back, first night at the cabin.
Yep.
So
yeah, that was last winter.
Yeah, and that worked really well. But it's supposed to rain starting at 2
Anytime,
a.m. Anytime, and then it's supposed to rain all day until
like 5 p.m. tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we might get our evening hunt dry.
We're gonna have to decide what we're gonna do in the morning.
Yeah.
If we're just gonna sleep in and have a rest day, and then sit afternoon for deer again. And then obviously we can go check the traps if it's raining.
Yeah.
But we may not want to sit for deer. Why are we waiting to eat?
I don't know. Because we're talking.
Yeah, we're talking.
Yeah, people want to know, how does it taste? It looks like bear poop.
What was on? It does. What was on this plate before? The squirrels?
Yeah.
It's clean, right?
Yeah, it's just had squirrels on it.
not
cooked squirrels.
Uncooked squirrels. Yeah, this looks an awful like bear poop.
Yeah. That's kind of been my whole year, is just really unexciting colors of food, but like fabulous wild tastes of food.
Yeah, Jeremy's been posting on the Facebook more than anything, I think, right? Like you're doing also updates on the YouTube, but
more on Facebook.
More on Facebook, right?
Yeah, on our Big Wild Year page and on my own page.
And that's the thing. My wife commented, Courtney. She said, "Jeremy's food doesn't look very good," and it doesn't. It just looks different shades of brown.
Yeah.
Right? But
it's good diversity and lets people know what we eat day to day. And we usually post adventure photos too. So.
Yeah. So, got some smoke coming out of the fireplace. That's a good sign. We'll light up again.
Yeah. I like this.
We made this cobbler before in a fall adventure. Similar. But the acorns were ground up. Probably an acquired taste for a lot of people, right? Eating acorns. I don't find them bitter anymore. Like when I first tried them, I okay, whatever.
Yeah, well, I think the first time I did them, I didn't leach them enough. These ones they shouldn't be bitter because I leached them a lot.
How did you leach them?
Hot water. I put them on my wood stove with water. Just leave them set.
And then
change the water repeatedly.
The water. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can cold leach them too, right?
Yeah. Then you have to pre-grind them and.
So if you're not familiar with anything to do with acorns, basically you take them and you dry them, and then crack them, shell them, and then you have the nut, nut meat or whatever it is. It's just a little ball, and then you can make like a paste. Paste with maple syrup is fine. I don't know what you compare it to. It's like
It's like, kind of like a porridge or a gruel.
Yeah, like a nutty.
We do a lot of cakes with ours. Mix them with berries and other nuts and bear fat, maple syrup.
And the nutritional content of them is mostly protein, fat, and carb.
It's a really good balance, actually. Now, when you hot leach them, I think you denature a bunch of the proteins. When you cold leach them, you still get all the proteins.
But you,
That's my
you might have
understanding.
more tannins. You might be more
No,
bitter.
you still get all the tannins out of them. Yeah. Both methods work. It's just, it just depends on what you're set up to do.
Right.
What kind of equipment you have. How patient you are.
Yep. So we pretty much got a full meal here, but well, probably a complete meal, right?
Yeah, we got.
Sugars, carbs,
Yep.
proteins.
Yep.
So, yeah, a little heavy on the sugar maybe. That's by choice.
Yeah.
See, we didn't have to put all the maple syrup in there. Well, the squirrel, we're good, right? It just takes a little bit more time to leach than we would prefer on such a short challenge. So to have it prepared, it's definitely a huge asset. But I was thinking, if you look at that, it looks like something you could not put on advertisement for the meal. Like, nobody would buy that, but it tastes great. It tastes like an apple pie.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look that much different from like blueberry pie filling, which is pretty boring on its own.
It's
But
true, yeah.
but
then you get the
crust is light and-
golden crust, and
Yeah.
you put some whipped cream on top. And
Yeah. Where's the whipped cream?
then you're talking. Where's the whipped cream? You gotta make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what was it from the apples we got today? And there's loads of apples left. They're gonna send you home with a bunch, for sure. We'll hit those trees again. Keep doing that. And
Yeah.
I'm really hoping we can get the raccoon situation solved. Turkey. I mean, the squirrels, I think we've pretty much figured out. I could have taken 6. Oh, I didn't update you guys on my hunt.
Oh.
Can't leave it out with that.
I gotta get out of the lair. It's warm in here.
I had 1 grouse I could have shot,
Oh yeah.
which is unique for here. It walked up, and then had tons of squirrel. I didn't film any of this because the squirrels are just running around with cobs of corn all the time. And then right at dark, it was either the grouse kind of coming downwind, which doesn't make any sense. It was
Not
probably
really gross behavior.
It was probably a deer. So I was probably within 40, 50 yards of a deer. But it cut my trail where I walked in, and then it came back around, made its way around to the downwind side, but it didn't make a fuss. So that makes me think maybe it wasn't a deer, but could have been a buck or something like that, where it's just like bucks don't usually make a big deal of it. Doe, like a mature doe, just like they go and they go and they go and they don't stop. They usually snort at you, make a big fuss, and let everybody know. Well, there's only one deer. So.
Yeah, and I didn't see any deer. Yeah, I saw lots of squirrels. Got those 3. And watched some crows mobbing a hawk, and they were mobbing something else too. There was a huge flock of them went by.
Of crows?
Yeah. Yeah, like
There's
maybe
a lot of crows
20 or
here.
30. Yeah, I heard them the whole time I was out. But,
Yeah.
But like in particular, they were worked up about something, and then I saw 2 that were chasing hawk like through the understory, and they were staying above the treetops.
Yeah. We'll do a crow hunt before this is out, because you've never done one.
No.
You gotta be fast. It's a 2-minute hunt. Literally 2 minutes, they're all gonna come in.
Yep.
And then we gotta pick the 2 we want to shoot. You
Yeah.
just kind of jump out and get them. It's a
Right.
fun hunt.
Well, I've got 3
But-
shells in my gun, so
Yeah.
should be able to pick 3. You pick 3?
Yeah. Well, they don't all come at the same. The one will cruise in and another one will cruise in. So you shoot the one. The other ones are just like, nah, we're out of here. But it's a fun hunt. But it's quick. It's not like goose hunting. You just like shoot a couple and then you wait a little bit and then another flock comes in. We've got to try to do a goose hunt too. We'll see.
Yeah.
Depends on if the fields come off and we get a place to hunt them.
Yeah, yeah.
If you watch the whole video, right full stop, want some adobo spice, You guys check the description, you'll find it. Go check out Jeremy, and see you guys in the next one.